but I will say there are many times I'm too honest for my own good. It gets me in more trouble.
That's like, you didn't pick up the phone.
That's not my problem, because it started with dog whistling by saying that I was like Madeline Soto's mother, and the proof is on my wall. Okay, go look at my videos. It's there. She says it never happened. She said because I was
that's not how it happened.
I was like Madeline Soto's mom. I was going to sleep in. Then my child was going to be.
Yes, it is the dumbest thing. That is not how it went. It is not how it went.
All right, give her a second. Hold on. Let her finish now. Hold on.
I found you had endangered. Can I finish? Sorry, there's a lag. I'm not intentionally trying to talk over.
Yeah, I was gonna say there's a lag. You either need to drop down and come back or fucking something, because we're not gonna do this. We can't understand you guys. We can't hear you, so we need to figure it out. One of y'all need to speak, and the other one needs to be quiet so we can hear you guys. Otherwise, this is a pointless conversation. So.
It is a pointless conversation, because the fact of the matter is, May, you came at me out of nowhere and spent hours going at me. You were doxing. You were saying my children were in danger. Wow. I was never charged with child endangerment. I was never charged with it. It was an added on charge for retail theft, and it was dismissed. It is on the same paper that you obviously didn't know how to read correctly.
Have you mute so she can finish what she's saying?
Absolutely. I did do a live stream. I was very passionately talking about Madeline Soto. They kept saying I was like Casey Anthony, and I'm like, do you know how stupid you sound saying I'm like Casey Anthony? This is after she spent hours. I'm talking like 9, 10. You see how these people do this shit, speaking on me, just spreading all these lies about me, doxing me repeatedly. I see my kids' names are being written in the chat. All this wild shit's going on. I was talking about Madeline Soto. They were intentionally trying to trigger me. And I said, you are ridiculous when you are out here because you are angry at a man that you dated. And you are now labeling him a pedo. And at this point, they're going over to Ernie Shells and telling him I'm a pedo sympathizer, which is an endangerment to me. Okay. That also puts my kids in danger when you say I'm okay with, that type of behavior. And I did. I said something. I did say something stupid. I said that this is like what happens to kids when you're sitting here dog whistling that people are pedos. There are children that are actually suffering out here. And I probably did say some shit like, what are you going to claim you're like Madeline Soto's mother? You had no idea that abuse was going on. You dated the guy. Like, you dated him, not me. You know what I mean? So I was very angry that, like, you're calling me a pedo sympathizer, but you dated the guy you're now labeling a pedo. So I probably did say some dumb shit out of anger, like you're like Madeline Soto's mom, but I stand by everything else I said. I mean, you're sitting there saying like Casey Anthony for what?
Granny, I did go look at her community tab, and you did say, like, it was in the form of a question, like, so it'll be okay if I was to read over your custody paperwork, right?
Right.
Like,
yeah.
So it was in response to something she was doing?
So what these people do, they get you all worked up, they get you angry, and when you ask a question like that, they try to phrase it as a threat. What I'm saying is, it's okay that you're sitting here doxing me, putting my kids out there, saying they're in danger, spending 10 to 12 hours on me a day. So I guess if I went over your custody papers, that would be okay too. There's limits. There are boundaries we should have set. If it's okay for you, be okay when it happens back to you.
That's how I took it when I read it, because it was a question mark on the end. So
they do that shit to me all the time. Right. It's a rhetorical question. Yeah. Like, is it okay what you're doing? Is it okay what Allie Rice is doing, which is Laura's mod? You know what I mean? Like, these people, and then to come up and act like you're against this shit. Dude, you participate in it. You do the same shit. Maybe May has taken a break and changed. I don't know. I don't pay any mind to her. But I know
I wasn't even going to say anything, Granny. I wasn't going to say anything about it.
By her standards, she claims that he is a pedo. So you failed yourself and your children when you were so willy-nilly willing to bring this man into your children's lives without doing zero research at all. And ever since then, you continue to neglect by spending majority of your days and nights on YouTube, which brings me back to Heather and her saying that she's a horrible mother. These two were in a live stream as I was live last night. I ended my stream around 11 p.m. They carried on way into the morning hours. And until this morning, they were on panel up to 5 hours. Both of these two claim to have young dependents. It's an actual problem. It is neglectful. It is concerning. And you have no business judging me as a mother. Thank you so much for the PayPal. Thank you. And that's pathetic, Dots. I have not Mimi Ski, and I will. Sky, I have not, and I will. They're still alive, and that's pathetic, because you would think these children, mom needs a good night of rest so mom can get up and take care of the child and whatever. And unfortunately, they don't. And this is why we end up with cases such as we have with Maddie, such as we have, oh yeah, I believe it, with Audrey. This is why children such as Sebastian just disappear from home. And most importantly, this is why we have children that lives get taken. I just watched about a woman who went off to Punta Cana, leaving her toddler home alone for 7 days to fend for herself. Needless to say, that baby passed away. How do these people interact in their real lives if they are constantly in YouTube world, spending their time obsessing over other people who I don't give a shit about you? This has been going on for 2 years with Heather, just obsessing over me. It is concerning. It doesn't matter which side of the so-called community you stand on. At one point or another, every single person has acknowledged that this person is utterly obsessed. But it is also concerning when you have minor children. And here we are today, right? We have Madeline Soto. Her life was taken from her, 13 years old. You know why? Because mom's boyfriend was a creep. Mom's boyfriend was a creep. And for years, that little girl was abused under her own roof by somebody that she should have been able to trust, that her mother trusted. So clearly, she was failed. Why? Because unfortunately, there are mothers like Schmoodles, there are mothers like Jennifer that will always put themselves before their children, but nobody better defends Morbid. It's unbelievable. So this is how we end up in situations like we're at today, where you have this young, beautiful girl who tragically had her life taken from her after years of abuse because mom cared more about the boyfriend, in my opinion, than she did her daughter. And that's how I stand on it. You're out here obsessing online about an ex-boyfriend you tatted on your arm and calling him a pedo. What does it say about you? Hey, Jude.
February 25th was Madeline Soto's 13th birthday party, a big day in any child's life, celebrating the end of one phase and the start of the next, the teen years. This
is somebody who was in a chat telling me they unsubscribed to me because of the way Morbid supported Lara, and they support Lara. Well, I don't know if you're aware, but the chat you were in making your disgusting racist comments, also attacked Lara, you moron. At this point, messages are out. Just defend yourself. Show what you have.
Yeah, they should have been considerate of her. I don't know why they're talking about it, continuing to keep going. Again, I keep an open Discord.
It was a racist thing. And I didn't realize in that moment it was a racist. Like, I wasn't thinking from a racist perspective to be like this. You know what I mean? It wasn't like I was like, oh, I don't even know how further to explain other than there was no racist intent behind what I had stated.
I don't understand the heat right now. I didn't think I came across rude. I was just asking where I could find the apology, because as you very well know, as a creator, when we have other friends on this platform or we get along with creators, what's the very first thing they do? They start saying, well, your friend did this, and this. And I'm just trying to understand the entire context of all this stuff that you know is going on.
Right.
So I was just, that's all I was asking was like, if, you know, hey, you said you're addressing it head on, you're doing what you're supposed to do. You know, I'm just trying to see the second part of it. You know, they're putting this BS out there. So where's the, you know, that part? That's all I was asking. I don't know why people thought I was coming at it like an aggressive thing or something. I just thought, yeah, you would know what you're like. Yeah, it's right here. So sorry, I wasn't trying to make it into something it wasn't, you know.
And I'll be 100% honest. I'm not going to go dig through my hundreds of live streams to try to find that apology. I'm not. I won't. Mm-hmm. Either you can believe I apologize, you can take the word of people I apologize, you can take my current apology, but I'm not going to sit back and fight for my character and fight that I'm not a racist. That's one thing you will never catch me fighting, is that I'm not a racist, because I know I'm not a racist. I don't have to convince all of you. If you think I'm a racist, exit left. You know what I mean? That's truly how I feel about it. I feel like my character and what you all have seen should be enough to say who and what I am. And if that's not enough, then quite frankly, you don't respect me enough, and I don't respect you enough for not seeing it. It's like one of those things for me.
For what I said is what I said. I said you tokenize people, right? You tokenize Glenn as a token hottie, and you tokenize your niece as a token blackie. It was a rhyming word. I should have said it. I was angry, but I'm not racist. I am not racist in a bit. And I really don't care if you think I'm racist. You're the racist. Nobody said anything about your niece. I said it about you, not your niece. I have nothing to say about a child. I have a lot to say about you. What can you say back, though? Natasha, what can you say back? Wah. Get the fuck out of here.
Now, listen, I know I know there's a lot of very strong feelings when it comes to the information of Dolly's brother. I'm going to be honest. I don't like it. I'm going to ask you all to please refrain from commenting about it in this chat. I understand the feelings. I understand what you're saying, but I don't agree that somebody should be held accountable for a relative's actions. Dolly didn't commit the crime, right? So it's his brother. It's an unfortunate thing. It's an unfortunate thing to be tied to him. And I'm not downplaying it. I get it. I get it. But for me personally, I don't like it. I don't like it being mentioned. I don't think it should be held against Dolly here. And I don't want people, you know, it's just one of those things. Let's leave family out of it. Like I said earlier, when it comes to even the families of these victims, they don't need to be all dug into and deep dived. And, you know, let's try to be better than that.
Came from his secretary.